Welcome back to more Real Talk, y'all. Thank you for being here with me today, because we are not cutting nobody no slack. We about to keep it real straight like that. So I know y'all, hopefully everyone here, has heard of this storming of the Capitol building, and you know, I had to do my research at first. When I first saw this on the news or the TV or whatever, people was talking about it, and I'm thinking like, yo, that's a pretty long lawn for them to have to run across. And I'm like, yo, how long is that lawn, yo? Because they made it all the way up, not only to the first floor, but to the second floor. So you mean they tell me they came across the lawn, which is 751 feet long, y'all, and about 350 feet wide. In my eyes, I believe this was a strong example of white privilege. So let's take a look at what really went down at the U.S. Capitol.
When the whole country hates I want you to go home. Go. Let's go. Get this shit.
I will be honest with y'all, man. I feel like honestly we shouldn't even be worried about like the left or right wing. We should be more worried about going forward, right? Instead of arguing with each other, we should just all come together and figure out the problems and move forward with it, and you know, put God first in everything. That's it.
So my thing on it, I think it showed it was pretty stupid to me. I didn't really believe it. Like, it was hard to believe. Like when I saw it first on Twitter, and I always like enjoy Twitter during that time.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at the jokes and stuff, but it was just so unreal that it was honestly actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm seeing it on my phone, but it's actually going on.
Yeah.
And the fact that there is just that much, you know, hate out there, it's stupidity, you know. And I think people just need to think more and just be like, just don't be stupid. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just
No, that's a fact.
it's just not doing anything when you do that.
Right.
Just riot a building for a reason that is not valid. Because when black people were rioting, there was a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
It was valid.
Right.
It was because stuff had been done to us. Nothing was done to y'all. Y'all lost an election.
Right.
It wasn't a fair election. All these recounts, it was lost, and it was out of stupidity and anger. But at the end of the day, you didn't move forward from it.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually a lot deeper than I thought it was. I didn't know that this was something that, like, the very first time Trump brought it up was like December 19th. I thought it was just like a spur of the moment, let's go thing, but no, like this was like planned.
Mm-hmm.
And even like how they were saying it might have been an inside job. Like they're not supposed to be doing tours of the Capitol right now.
I heard
but the
that.
day
I saw
before,
that, yes.
certain people
Yes.
had got a tour so that they would know where to go. They actually got up to 100 feet to Pence before they were stopped.
Exactly.
And the police didn't even arrive to the scene until they got all the way across the yard. Like this was very planned.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with that. I want to go back and touch on what Alex was saying, because the news definitely tries to divide us so much and pin each other against us for which side. And really, it's like, it's to the point to where people don't even see right or wrong anymore. It's just that, oh, those are the Republicans, those are the Trump supporters. And at the end of the day, these people came rioting, made it well across the lawn. And you know what I mean? And some of the rioters were actually chanting to hang Mike Pence, or we need to do this, we need to do that, because he was a traitor. So I agreed with him as well, because it's just so much hate. People don't see anything anymore. They just complete brainwash.
Me, I'm just livid with the whole situation, because again, like he said, if it was black people,
Right.
SWAT teams would have came, they would have had the Marines. They had
the National Guard out for us, didn't they?
In Charlotte,
Yeah.
because I witnessed it, because I was one of the ones that did a riot as well, and they had the SWAT teams, they had everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, we're just peacefully marching. But then when it comes to, you know, white people, it's like, you know, come on in. Like, how did you get in the Capitol so easily?
Mm-hmm.
But let that be black people coming in there. They're gonna shoot us in the yard.
Right.
You know, they're gonna mace us. It's gonna be so many deaths, and I only heard of one death.
There's actually been a total of 5 deaths.
Yeah, it was.
But it was the video of the girl who got shot in the neck while they were trying to break into the speakers.
And I think 1 or 2 was policemen.
Yeah.
Rioters killing policemen.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But
That's
yet
the best it was.
we're the animals.
Mhm.
And
The
we're
savages.
And yeah, we're the
I'm-
looters and the thugs. But I don't get it.
I was talking to my friend about this the other day. He is scared, and I am a little bit too.
Project up a little
There's a possibility of war because
Yeah.
of this, and it
Right.
doesn't need to.
Right.
Why is there a war because of skin colors and stuff like that?
Right.
We've been through that before,
Right.
and there's no reason to go through that again. We have the knowledge now.
Right.
Like, I have a white mom and a black dad, and I see them as the same. Like,
Mhm.
and there's no reason for just that to be the reason for fighting.
Right.
I feel like we have come a long way as far as like, you know, slavery and fighting against each other, but at the same time, I do believe there's been a lot of things that's been covered up and also just switched. So it's almost like, well, we won't enslave you like this, we'll enslave you like this. To where it's like we kind of give you freedom, well, you don't really got that much freedom. You know what I mean?
But it's gonna make you feel like you're doing
Exactly.
okay.
Exactly.
And you're not.
Exactly.
And a lot of things like the media play, like y'all said earlier, they only give us what they want us to know. You feel me? So that's just to make you feel like you know enough to go out here and have an opinion about something, but not real facts.
Yeah.
So really talking about like the storming of the Capitol building, like you were saying, Taavonna, you know, Trump actually tweeted about it, but he didn't only tweet about it, he even spoke on it at a meeting that he had or whatever. And I seen the video where he was talking about Pence. Like basically, like he got our back, and if he don't, it's gonna be a sad day in America.
To fight much harder, and Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us. And if he doesn't, that will be a sad day for our country, because you're sworn to uphold our Constitution.
And that was his words, you feel me?
Yeah.
And not only that, like he said, the 6th of January is about to go crazy. And that's the day that I believe Biden was supposed to be moving his stuff into the Capitol and all that other stuff. And it's crazy how nothing happens until the day he's supposed to go. But also some of the footage that I saw is like I seen security officers or police officers at the door while these individuals are beating and busting on the window, and that's when the lady got shot in the neck.
Yeah, they moved out the way. They moved out the way and let them do it. Like,
and somebody was saying something about like, you know, we've been supporting you before all of this. They were talking about Trump, like, and now we're gonna definitely support you through this. But it's all because he's not gonna be president anymore.
yeah, and I agree, and I also disagree only because I don't know if you had seen the links that had sent y'all. All the links will be dropping in the description. So be ready, okay? Before you comment, make sure you click them links. All right. So because I saw that where Trump did his speech. And he was saying, it's going to be a sad day in America if Mike Pence doesn't have our back. Now, okay, so the role of the vice president, technically speaking, is to really be another extension of the president. So if something happened to you, if you die or you resign or you get removed, you will automatically be, you know what I mean, like the next person up.
Pence is responding to that call from Congress for him to remove the president by invoking the 25th Amendment. And he said, I do not believe that such a course of action is in the best interest of our nation or consistent with the Constitution. And he said that he would not.
But I feel like he was Trump was really saying it more so in a way of like, if you don't back us up, like, and be on the president's side, then yes, it's going to be a sad day for us in America, because the things that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and all these other people and Nancy Pelosi stand for does not stand for black people. I don't care what anyone says. That's my personal opinion.
That's just true. And that's true on that part. So I definitely agree with you like on that. But for me, knowing his behavior, repulsive behavior of what he's been condoning since he's been, you know, going for like re-election and since he got into the chair the first time, it's been nothing but violence. Yeah. So the way I took that was him talking about, look, y'all see what happened on the day of January 6th. It wasn't about nothing else about a sad day in America for us. You know, it was like what's really about to go down if y'all don't let me. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I took it.
And I'm gonna let someone else speak too. But one more thing I want to piggyback off that, because there was also another. I think the topic was this was the first time Trump was seen since the rioting or something like that, because he came outside, you know, did a little walkthrough, and you know, he did his speech. He was like, "We don't want violence. We don't like violence. We're not encouraging violence." So he did his little whole speech, but there was interviews of people outside, you know, with the little flag, American flag, bunch of little white people and stuff like that. But looking at the behavior of those people that were interviewed versus the people that was at the Capitol building, it's a complete different culture. Like, you can probably put them all in the same box, but it's like, nah, like those people were level-headed, they were respected, they were saying, you know, if Biden becomes president, that's fine, we lost. They were very, very calm people. They wasn't on there hooting and hollering and just, yeah, you know what I mean?
And
So,
they wasn't bashing.
and they wasn't bashing anyone. So that's where I also feel like the media throws and pushes the foolishness to the highest bar to count out, to count out one of the parties, number one, and to divide us as well.
I agree.
Can I say one thing about
Go
Trump?
ahead, yeah.
I'm just glad he's kicked off social media because I know he is so upset about it because he can't tweet.
Right.
And I know he just wants to tweet.
That I feel like was just like, and that's another thing that's just, it's just like, why is it going to such an extent of like, remove, take away, like what country do we live in? You know what I mean? Like, if they do this to somebody who was supposed to be the president, the head of the U.S., despite whatever you stand for, what makes you think that they won't come for you if you decide to speak against the norms or even what we're doing right now? There's plenty of other YouTubers out there that get demonetized for doing exactly what we're doing right now.
Man,
What
look,
are you about to say, Rob?
not even just YouTube. Or if you look at any social media platform trying to promote a video on Instagram, if they feel like it's insensitive to people who love doors, it'll get taken down. You know what I'm saying? The level of sensitivity across the board is so stretched in. And honestly, that's why I haven't said nothing this whole time, because I just feel like everything's an overreaction. Like, everything's an overreaction. Like, I feel like, honestly, business-wise, everything they do is marketing. So they just market pain. And then when they market pain, what do you expect? I mean, you know, I feel like, honestly, if we be 100, which is what we're here for, I feel like Trump had a hard time every year of his presidency. I feel like honestly, like from outside looking in, bro, if you put anybody else in that job and do what he got to do and then deal with all the hate he's dealt with, it's tough. That's like a tough job, because I look at what happened to Obama. Everybody know Obama looked like he was 28, and when he left, he looked like he's about to, you know what I'm saying, retire for real, from like life almost. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like done with everything.
Right.
And I look at how everything correlated. I mean, from day one of his presidency, he's been receiving nothing but hate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what he's tried to do, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to live in a world where you go from being on top of the world business-wise, even celebrity-wise. Because I grew up watching WWE, and I grew up watching cartoons, and Donald Trump was the dude. I don't care what nobody say. I grew up in rap. That's what I'm saying. I grew up with 50 and all of them G-Unit, having Trump around and then getting loans from the dude. Like, I remember, like, Benzino, the owner of not Supreme magazine, but some rap magazine. I remember him getting he almost filed for bankruptcy, and then next you know he's looking at the entertainment industry, who's gonna bail me out, and it was Trump. So it was like a lot of to go on top of the platform, and then for you to be, I guess, exposed as such an aggressive, hateful person. Which, I mean, honestly, I don't know the guy very well. I've ran into him a couple times doing what I do in the political world, but I don't know him personally. But the times that I've walked into him, he don't come off as this hateful person. He comes off as, I'm talking about Trump. You know, like, he comes off as a person that really just wants to get things done. Like, he's just he remind me of that, like, if you ever had a fast food job and you got that one manager, bro, that just pins everything on you and be like, this is just how life is.
Yeah.
Like, you complain, you don't gotta be here. Like, screw you. I get paid regardless if you here or not. Like, that's the type of energy I get from him. Not necessarily to defend him, because he's done a lot of garbage, like a lot socially. But what I'm saying is that I feel like we need to take a second and look at what bro has been through for 4 years and then just be like, could anybody really take that? And handle it differently.
That's
Because
true.
bro, I feel like you put a black man in office, bro, same type, because Obama dealt with hate, but ain't nobody in our history that dealt with the hate this man.
Yeah, right.
So like, I feel like you put somebody like me in office, and these people coming at me for 4 straight years, bro, and then I feel like I've been cheated, and y'all just want to gloss over my stuff, I might turn up on everybody. Like, I might go crazy, but not to defend him. I'm just saying from the outside looking in, like, I think we should look at his mental health more than what he's doing.
I have
Like,
an opinion on that too.
yeah, like,
But
I
he
feel
should
like
be looking at other people's mental health too. For instance, he was picking on a person in a wheelchair during the election when he was getting elected. And it's like, so you're picking on people now.
See,
so
but-
that hate comes back to
Right,
it.
right.
Even without
But
hate,
that goes to
you
who
gotta
he
define
is
yourself
before he
sometimes.
was president.
That's
Like, that's
true.
my thing. Like,
But
this
he
man
came
ain't never
into
changed.
But he came into the election already acting crazy.
Yeah.
And then
Cause he crazy.
And he,
That's what I'm saying, though, he's crazy.
And then he divided the country. He divided everybody. And I just feel like Trump been saying some mean things, done some things, and he's allowing the KKKs or like George Floyd. He let that happen. Like he's okay with that. He's pretending that it was it's this nah. What you gonna do about it? Why are you letting all these policemen go free? That's why.
But that's
Really,
the thing.
the
You don't have no
executive,
control
the
over
executive
that.
branch is actually
tried.
supposed
Yeah, I
to
was about to
be
say,
they're supposed to uphold the law like that, and they don't.
But I
That's more of a
still
statement.
think, but Trump, to me, I feel like he is allowing this stuff to happen, like the Capitol. We know he had something to do with that. That's why people don't
Whether
like
he
him.
planned it or not, he emotionally motivated.
And
So
I know.
I understand that.
Yeah, the only thing I think that we're all just looking at, I mean, yeah, you looking at it from the outside in, like all the hell that he's been through as a president, but shit, you signed up for it. You know, you knew what you was going
No
to get.
cap.
But just think about how Obama felt. Just think about if Obama did a percentage of the things that like Donald Trump has done. He would have already been, been called out the chair.
Well, but here's
go
the thing. Like,
many
if
years.
we look at Obama's presidency, right? So, like, let's look at all of the police brutality that happened during him. We got Tamir Rice. We got not Eric Garner, but Michael Brown. We got all that stuff was during him. You feel what I'm saying? So, a lot of police brutality stuff just transitioned into Trump's rule.
Right.
And a lot of that stuff is controlled by the state. Like Dylan Roof, the dude that shot up the black church in South Carolina. I remember being in high school.
But
Trump
think
wasn't
about
off
this though,
the
none of that stuff was for Obama. You feel what I'm saying?
and I agree.
Right, a lot of the things that happened during Trump, like presidency, is because it's for Trump. You feel
Well,
what I'm saying?
I agree. But then I also come back and say, because I like playing devil's advocate. I do that for a living. I'll also come back and say, if you look at the things that were happening, whether it was for Trump or for Obama, I'm talking about during Obama's presidency. I like to compare presidency.
Mm-hmm.
So like if we look at Obama's presidency when the police brutality was starting and the riots was going on during that time, right? Okay, Obama came out and simply said, well, he didn't call them losing thugs, but he was like, people need to get arrested, people need to do this, that, and the third, and we might have to evict martial law on people. So, and so what I'm saying is that if you look at the words of what both presidents say, only thing that makes Trump really different is that he's straight up bold, don't care about how
Zero
people feel.
tolerance policy is like a fact.
And I feel like that's what makes him. I feel like that's what this connection.
See, but this is the thing though, when Obama done those things to take action, he got to take action for the collective. You feel what I'm saying? So even if it's against his own people, he's showing I don't have that in me to say
I agree with that. But I'm not comparing personality. Obama is definitely the superior personality. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
What I'm saying is, if you look at how government works, because I work in politics, so like if you look at how government works for the past 10 presidencies. If you go back to FDR, when FDR felt like he got screwed over, he told the people to take the Capitol building.
Right.
So he was like, look, y'all screwed me over. I got shot, took a bullet for America. And y'all just want to gloss over everything that these Dems are doing to me. So I want all these Republicans to march and take the Capitol building. And they almost did it. And the only reason why they didn't do it was because the Supreme Court intervened and said, we're going to go ahead and review what FDR wants. But that's something that people don't know.
That's crazy. We're going to try to go ahead. No, go ahead, Caitlyn. Go ahead.
Okay,
Yes, I'm glad you have something to say. Yes.
So I'm going to take off of what you said and also what Quintin said as well.
We'll project a little bit.
When you were saying Trump looking out from the outside in, I agree with what Quintin said as well as what Abner said, the loving each other like equally and all that. Because the hate is just crazy, especially with Trump. Like you were saying, like when you were in a different generation, so you grew up with him like supporting all the WWE and stuff like that. Well, he built his personality. Like when he came to his presidency, like when said he signed up for it, and it was because he was getting so much hate, he didn't take it so well.
No, yeah, his retaliation is
also,
what people
the
build him
fact
off
that the whole storm with the Capitol and all that, that should not have happened
at all.
At all. That was crazy, and just the fact that what Taavonna was saying about it was basically planned. This all happened during Trump's presidency. So at the end of the day, he put himself in that position, and he put himself personality-wise and everything. The way he reacts, especially with social media.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm having
no,
fun.
that's like do you? You know what I'm saying? Everybody be themselves. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter what skin color, doesn't matter where you're from. You know what I'm saying? Equality is really like the key here. And it's not like, especially with his presidency, it just made it 10 times worse because nobody was really around. And the rioting and stuff like that, and all these people were, especially in Atlanta, that couple that got tased and like routed, that was crazy. Like that really like breaks my heart because it's like, you know, it just makes, it's just like, why can't we be equal? It doesn't matter what skin color, it doesn't matter any of that. And at the end of the day, like, you know, my niece, she's black and she's white. Love her to death. She's adorable. Love her to death. And it's like, you know, I don't want her growing up seeing all of this and being like, oh damn, like I'm so scared. Dang, I'm so scared because, you know, I'm a different color. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like the fact that Trump is out of office, I think that's good. Not like they were saying, Joe Biden and all like Miranda was saying, Joe Biden, like what he stands for, it's not really great as well. But at the end of the day, Trump, the way he has been reacting, the way he's been acting, period, like it's just been making everything worse. Like,
Right.
10 times worse.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, he's an unpresidential person.
very unpresidential. He's on TV for
I want to play devil's advocate as well.
Yeah, play devil's advocate. I like playing devil's advocate. That's fun for me.
What's up?
Go ahead.
So, what if everything we've been seeing is? What if everything we've been seeing was everything that they wanted us to see to control our emotions?
Of course.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
So this, what we're witnessing, it's not about black and white.
No, it's not.
For me, it's about the elite class
Exactly.
versus us. So I do believe that the elite class is divided into two separate groups. The ones that do want to help spread the knowledge to help out, the ones at the bottom, and the ones that want to keep their powers to themselves. And I'm not gonna say I believe this because my beliefs are just opinions.
Facts.
But I feel as though every single second of the day, there's a reason why they want to demonize Trump.
I agree with you. That's all I'm saying, bro.
That's
really
exactly
all
what I'm saying. It's definitely a target. Go ahead.
Yeah, because it just don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. So
You spend every day. It just don't make sense.
Trump, he brought it on himself.
That's what I look at it too.
He started.
one thing.
He started his campaign saying, "Make America great again." When we have a black president, he's saying that we have a black president in America is not doing good. He's saying we need to make America great again. So Obama, he's saying Obama's doing a bad job.
I don't believe
That's
that.
what he's saying.
I don't think
No,
that's
that's
what
what
he's
he's
saying.
saying.
I wouldn't say
that's what he said.
So then why would he have to say make America great
The
again?
same reason Obama
So,
came in and said
Instead
we
we
need to
can change, and then we said we
Change
can
is different.
Change,
No.
that's America great again. It's the same.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
I believe
but
it's the same.
I mean, I do get what you're
But-
saying. Make America Great Again is him. He put it on that red hat. It's him saying, "I'm going to be the best president
Put it
ever."
on there already.
But that's what he should
feel like though. I feel like he
That's
should
it.
want to be
So-
the best president ever. I don't think
So
making
one
America
thing-
great again is like an
But
He should want to be,
Wait,
but
what?
he
No,
should go
Quinn.
out and say, "I'm gonna be the
No,
best
Quinn
president
wanted
ever."
to say something, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I would
I
just say, I
think
feel where
Trump
y'all
is a
coming from.
demon, and I think he should be demonized.
Right.
Honestly.
I feel
So-
and I feel where y'all coming from as far as like, you know, looking at it from the other side, the perspective like it's
Because I feel like
versus
we
not
should.
elite, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta think about it like this. When you come in and you give yourself a bad name, you're gonna always have that bad name. You're gonna put a bad taste in the people's mouth.
And if you put that without
Here's
so,
the real question though. Did he give himself a bad name?
Yeah, if you
Did-
vote-
did-
if you
Oh,
vote
yeah,
against Trump,
yeah, yeah,
Did he? Hold on, listen what I
You
said.
be lying, bro.
But just listen to what I said. Did he give himself a
Yes,
bad name,
yes.
or did the media give
So
himself?
he did
He did that
So
to
if Obama
but-
would have said grab about the pussy, that's cool.
If you look
But
it
here's
up,
the
Hold on,
thing.
wait, I have
Nobody.
Let me say something about
Here's
that.
the
Let me say
thing.
something
The
about
media
that.
exposed that.
Let me say something about that. Hold on.
still did it to himself.
No, Rob, that's a fact. The
The
media
media
exposed
exposed that.
that.
Trump
Number two,
exposed that.
Media exposed
Number
anything.
two, it's almost like, okay, at the end of the day, y'all, he's a president, but this is still a man that got kids and got some porn star as his wife.
But this is
So what
I
kind of
don't think he
thing?
got a conscience though. I don't think he's
I'm just saying that from saying like grabbing by the pussy being okay. I'm pretty sure Obama then said some
Crazy
grabbing by the
stuff.
pussy.
Have y'all ever
I'm
heard
saying,
that
come on now, this is so
Bro,
wrong.
have y'all ever
Wrong.
played
We
shit?
know
Bro,
that.
listen,
You're not supposed to
But
do
we
that
know
all
that.
day.
One at a time. One at a time.
doing that on
Hey,
camera. He's
doing it
on
on
camera.
no, they exposed him for that. He did not do that willingly on camera.
he has to represent the
But-
free world.
But that's what
That's
I'm saying.
Go ahead, yes.
I'm not saying that he's not gonna make mistakes or do, but it's a certain time that you gotta cut it on and sometimes you gotta cut it off. And if you're in the presidency, you know, in the chair, you're supposed to know what you can and can't say on camera.
Obama
Here's the thing. He said that years before he thought about
He was
running for
talking
president.
about Kanye. When he was talking about Kanye, no, we're not gonna slide past that. I was rolled the clip. We can roll the clip.
Hold up. One more thing.
That
What do
clip
y'all
will be
think
rolled.
about Kanye West trying to be president?
Wait, hold on, we're not going to that. Let's go. We got other stuff to talk about. We're gonna have to schedule a whole nother
I'm for it.
meeting
That's
for
all.
that. No. Listen, yeah, we're gonna trick. Well, we're gonna let you guys. We're gonna let Taylor Grinder speak,
I just want
and
to
then we're gonna move on to the next
kind
topic.
of ramble back into the repercussions
Yes.
of the people that stormed the Capitol.
Yes.
I know there has been some word that that they're being put on no-fly list, which is not true. Like the no-fly list is like an international terrorist thing, but individual airlines can put people. They can have their own no-fly list, but there's like no one has been put on that yet. And even if they were, there's no way for anyone to know that because that's not public information.
You talking about the people that were hurt, like the officers? Or you talking about the
The people that were involved,
that were arrested?
people are kind of saying that people that were, when they're investigating them, they're being put on these no-fly lists.
Yeah.
But that's not true yet. It might be something in the works, but that's not something that's been done yet.
So the next thing we're going to be going over is these blackouts that has a lot of vague information online. I still will drop the links below, but I believe Pakistan is without all of electricity within the city. I want to say Texas as well. Don't quote me if I'm wrong on that. But the Iranian officials have actually started to crack down on people that do Bitcoin mining. And majority of us here are Forex traders, so we're all familiar with Bitcoin. But Bitcoin mining, I was a little bit confused about, but it's really just a metaphor. And it's basically how they use the algorithms to make the money digitally, if I'm correct on that. So it's a lot of deep information that goes in it, but the point of that is that the officials are saying that they're running out of power and they're having power outages due to people doing Bitcoin mining, and they're cracking down on people who may be doing it illegally by having illegal Bitcoin mining farms. I don't even understand how that could be a thing. But people that actually that do this for a living within Iran were basically saying that that has nothing to do with the blackouts, and that was something that was just all kind of smoke and mirrors. So yeah, I just want to know what everyone's take on that is, because it's so random, and right now on the news all you hear about is just Trump, Trump, Trump. Impeachment, Biden, Kamala, everybody turn up. Like, that's all you hear right now. But there's these places in the world that are completely without power, and it's winter right now, so it's not like you can just go to bed without a sheet on you. So yeah, I don't know if anyone's heard of anything like that.
Bitcoin mining machines are big though.
Yeah. Okay.
I've looked them up. Like, it is like a $300 machine that like works the algorithms for you and stuff.
Exactly.
I've looked into it before.
Okay.
I heard a separate side of it.
Nah.
I heard it's actually the legal side of it. At least you can actually pull a Bitcoin into your account by using massive amounts of computer.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's what the machine is. Yeah, that does it.
And
It's
it
like,
is strong enough to create a power outage in maybe a house or an apartment, like just yours.
Okay.
But not entire city.
Exactly. Okay.
but if it's a farm, yeah, like they
Shout out WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
Shout out
But then
WikiLeaks.
the government control, they have control over that. They can't just have outages like that. So that's affecting the banks. That's
Right.
affecting the people at the top.
Right.
That's when people don't
Until Alex can come in, they can come in if they want.
Honestly, what I think is really going on is they're just researching, because all you know or should know that 5G is coming out, and they need 5G for a lot of things, and it's all going to be millimeter waves, which has a lot of radiation, so they have to start on the ground. So any recirculating mishaps can cause entire cities to be blacked out. Because 5G creates so much power and so much radiation. A lot of people don't know this, but they did 5G tests that killed birds, rats.
I know, I heard of that.
Yeah, birds, rats, and then some larger animals. And they say 5G is like standing beside the microwave, but then you open it and then you put your face in it. That's what 5G is.
There was a video. I'm gonna let Rob come in, but before it got taken down off social media, I believe my sister has it screen recorded. I'm gonna have to get that so I can play it for y'all. But according to 5G as well, this is when the corona thing really started to kick off, that they were saying that the 5G was causing the cell poisoning, which is what is causing the coronavirus, and that that 5G is actually like a class under of like a weapon, like some type of like bomb, like it's that strong. Oh yes. You don't even need to sleep with your phones next to you. Like that's actual thing. You need to move it away from your head and stuff like that. But go ahead, Rob.
No, real talk. That's the reason why I said shout out WikiLeaks, because they actually exposed the heck out of all of those blackouts. What happened was, like my man said, and I like when he said the 5G thing because that's a big deal. But it was a combination of three things, right? According to the WikiLeaks and according to the Iranian independent news and other places across the border. So what happened was that yes, there was some Bitcoin mining and people were definitely doing that, but that's what they blame it on. It was just a part of the problem. It was just a minor a minor part of the problem.
And that was reported by the Washington Post, by the way. So
the real problem that it stemmed from was, like my man said, the 5G, but the thing that they don't talk about is how they were trying to fuel the 5G. You see, they were taking natural gases and natural oils to try to fuel something that's 100% radioactive. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. But if you also know about banking and Forex, you people know, well, not you people, you got scratch that from the record. Scratch that from the record. Not you people. But no, like, you know, y'all get what I'm saying. When you're trading a currency that's tied with another pair, like USD, JPY, or dinar, and whatever, you know, examples can stretch all over. Their banks were affected so heavily by the 5G and the Bitcoining that the banks actually lost a whole lot of bread. And their currency failed. Which leads to the third thing that leads to power outage. They were building voting machines. Y'all can look this up. That they were selling across the world to America, to Poland, Sweden, etc. They were voting machines that they were selling that as they were building, were taking up so much power to actually hold them that it shut down a whole right side of Iran, which led to 5G not getting enough power, which completely took the country out. And then when it happened there, because Iran is such a strong source of that 5G, and if people know how 5G works, like my man said, it's really like satellite, right? So like they got these satellite stations that they're building up there now, which is the reason why Trump at one time was trying so hard to get back into space. He was like, "There's so much money up there!" Like, oh my god! But
I thought he was
and
doing
then,
space for shit.
I thought he was really gonna do it. I thought he was really gonna do it.
I was like, shit, I might sign up, man.
He's gonna sign an executive order for everybody to go straight.
Oh shit.
But so he when that happened and they actually started building, so you look at all of these big tech companies, or your S&P 500s, and let's not even stop there. The countries that own tech in like the west, the eastern hemisphere of our planet, which is your China companies and etc. They were all banking on 5G so much that they were actually installing towers or working on putting towers in all over the world. Which is the reason why Texas had a small blackout, even though Texas doesn't have the 5G same tower that they have over there. Yeah. It was enough, it affected the satellite enough to where a lot of countries at the same time just blacked out. Now some countries came back on quick. Some people still, like in Iran, they still don't have nothing. For the most part, like it's pretty bad.
Because they probably didn't have backup.
They don't have no backup. Yeah, and what they were doing is they were banking on. See, if people know about the what an ELE is, event leaving Earth, right? So they basically what happens is when you're dealing with a massive terror attack or a disease, or an extraterrestrial being, or some type of, if you watch Avengers, gods come down and they start wiping out the earth. They call that an ELE event, meaning event that would require leaving Earth, right? And they started testing this with a system called CERN that started out in like 2014, and they were testing how to travel and send protons and neutrons through black holes. But people don't know about that though. When I be tapped in, shout out. But
shout out to Wiggly.
Shout out Wiggly. Yeah, so if you look up CERN, you can actually even go on YouTube now. CERN is so exposed and it's been powered by so many big tech. Shout out Bill Gates. So many. He a pain, but shout out Bill Gates. He's out here. They're out here fueling science so much with CERN, 5G, and a lot of people don't realize they're trying to completely go with the next world trade, like currency, world global reset, currency reset. They're trying to make that completely go digital.
Yeah.
To the point to where, and the reason, and this is the reason why
Bitcoin.
I like the Bitcoin. If you don't have a Forex account, you should get a Forex account.
Better sign up. Y'all should be trading. Better sign up.
Yeah. But I don't want to go too far. I don't want to go too far. I want to get the keys out and be done with it.
I got one question though.
Go ahead.
So, speaking of Texas and the energy, I have heard a couple things. I be on the conspiracy theories in Clubhouse about Texas succeeding from.
They're trying to succeed from, and shout out WikiLeaks. They're trying to succeed from the union. Mm-hmm. Texas has always been a state that has that capability. They've actually written that, and before they were purchased, it's within their contract that at any time, if they feel like there's a lot of crap going on, that
anybody within and around Texas is completely boom. That's a part of the Gadsden Purchase. Because you have the Louisiana Purchase, you have the Gadsden Purchase, and you have the New Expedition Purchase, which is like Oregon, Washington, most part of Cali, Montana, etc. Right? So what happened was when Napoleon sold the Louisiana, when he basically sold Louisiana, etc. for like 15 billion US dollars, America got really broke really fast. But they had an idea. They said, we're going to go down to these Hispanics, we're going to offer them a lot of our goods, we're going to go to trade with them. And once we do that, we're going to see if eventually we control the trade and force them to sell the land. Right? So that's where you had a whole lot of the whole, if you guys watched any, what's the name of that show, man? Hell on Wheels. I think it's what it's called. Hell on Wheels. Yeah, it's about the train, the Durant expedition, and how they built the train from the East Coast to the West Coast. Really dope show. Shout out MC. Shout out Hell on Wheels. I gotta get a shout out everywhere I go. I'm an artist, so I shout out everybody. Yeah, this is what I do. Yeah, so what they were talking about is how the banks were starting to see, because people don't realize before currency became currency, it was backed off of gold or backed off of notes or
more exchange. We know
yeah, y'all know what's up. So y'all know what's up. But this is for them. Once they transferred that purchase, they bought it completely off of credit, right? So they bought the land from the Hispanics off of credit, but they was nice enough to let them know it was going to be off credit. And the Hispanics and the Americans who lived there at the time wrote within the clause of the contract that because y'all bought this off credit, at any given time, if we feel like the American government's on any type of BS, we will secede from the Union. So, reason why I said Texas has their 5G thing is because Texas themselves, if you look at their political moves lately within the state, they're preparing to fuel their own state with like water, fuel it with gas. Like they're starting to mine and stuff again, trying to find oil. So like they're on the right path, trying to get what they want to do. So,
that's what's up. So we're about to. All right, cool. All right, so the last topic, you guys. Thanks for staying with us this whole time. But the last thing is just talking about the racial injustice that's been going on. Because I will say, as of last year, when all of the rioting stuff was going on, out here in Charlotte, I'm born and raised out here in Charlotte, so other than the first riot that happened like years ago, I don't know if y'all remember that? They was tearing up stuff a couple years ago. Who was it over? It was...
it wasn't George, it was the one that got at the bus stop.
The dude at the...
Yeah, the one I went to, he used to go to my church.
Yeah.
It was white boys doing it at the bus stop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
He used to
Yeah,
be he was a black dude.
Yeah.
He got shot outside of his car.
Oh, was that the one by Burger King?
Was
I'm
that
not
the
sure
one
what
that-
exactly.
It was right after that one dude got shot by that white police woman.
Not Batesville, Brookshire.
It was.
I forgot where exactly, but it was at a bus stop. He was waiting for his daughter to get off the bus, and she get off the bus to her little daddy dead.
Wow. Okay, so wait, the bus stop with my mama.
You see, I'm trying to figure out which one it was.
Yeah, we can't
Trying
exactly
to figure out which one it was.
Because there's so many.
It's so many, and I'm like, I done forgot how many times we didn't even rioted out here in Charlotte. So it's like that for me. It really put things in a different perspective because I acknowledge myself obviously as a black woman, but I keep in mind that I am a dark-skinned black woman, and black people already are 3 times more likely to be killed by the police. And I actually didn't get this other statistic, but basically the darker you are as a black individual, you're considered more of a threat to whatever, life, and other people. And that really just kind of had put me in an uncomfortable spot because I grew up here in Charlotte, like I said, grew up in an all-white neighborhood. We were the only black family. Both of my neighbors on the side of me were Hispanic. Everyone else whiter than white, okay? So I was like, you know what I mean? It's second nature to me. You know what I mean? Like, or almost like first nature. Because I didn't even grow up around a lot of black people. I really had to kind of like get in my roots. I had to kind of figure out like my culture because I wasn't technically brought up in that. I was brought up completely different than what a lot of people would think. or just in a different way than a lot of black people are brought up. So for me, it definitely put me like on the edge. I felt like I kind of had to watch people and watch where I'm at and watch my back end. And I don't believe every white person is racist. I'm gonna lay that out on the table right now, just because that's not, number one, that's not of God. Number two, that's just not what it is. You know what I'm saying? I believe that there's two different kinds of white people. Okay, there's you know, the older generation that was about that, you know, hit you with this and you better not get my daughter. You know what I'm saying? All of that. And then we got the other half that grew up with me, and we never have seen any other color. Like, I grew up with the rock band and the Guitar Hero and the screamo music and all of that. Like, that's what I listened to before I even came to rap. But we do got my homegirl Caitlyn here, and I do wanted to ask Caitlyn if anything that's been going on, like how just people are placing the image of white individuals, does that make you uncomfortable? Like, ever, like, does that make you feel offended in any way?
So, one thing, honestly, no, because, I mean, no, not really, only because I know the place that white people have, like, put Caucasians at. Like, the way, like you said, the two kinds, the one that have grown up and been like, oh yeah, da. Well, that is passed down. And some kids are grown up with like their parents strictly like that. Yeah. And some kids don't even get to experience like the culture and
exactly.
Right. And it's like there's a lot of that. So at the end of the day, like a lot of those people place that I guess you could say label, but place that kind of like image on Caucasians. Right. And I'm white, and you know, I'm not really. I'm like I said before. I'm okay with. I don't.
You don't see it.
I don't see it. Like no shade of color bothers me. It doesn't matter if you're black, Hispanic, Asian. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, equality is where I'm at.
Right.
You know, it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what color you are. So, some people don't get that, and it's sickening. Yeah. It's sickening. And the fact that, you know, I'm white and people see me like, oh, like, I've had a lot of questions like, oh, are your parents racist? What? Are your parents da-da-da? Like, and like, I've had a couple questions like that. Maybe like 2 kids.
She hang out with black people. She said da-da-da.
Yeah. That's why she's scared, people. Come on now. I know it's good.
I've had a couple of questions where people have asked me like, are your like this? A couple of maybe like 1 or 2 guys asked me like, oh, is your dad's racist? Are they okay? Like, are they okay with you dating a black guy? Like, I've gotten questions like that, and I don't know what to say. Like, I just be like, well, my family doesn't do that. My family, you know, there's some parts of my family, like some parts of my family, like on one side, I don't like any of their values. Right. But my mom raised me most of my life, so. Her household, she's everybody. She loves everybody.
Shout out, mom. Shout out, mom.
Shout out, mom. Yes.
My boy, shout out. I love the energy, bro. Yes.
So, my mom, like, has always been about. She doesn't care what shit goes. She does not. My mom is a lovable person, and that's where I get everything from. But you know, it's kind of hard answering that question because I don't see racism in my on my side, like on my family my person that I have grown up with and have been raised with that. And me and my friend were talking about this, and she says like some white people say, oh well, my family, like just out of nowhere, some white people be like, oh well, my family's not racist, like my family's racist, but I'm not. I've never ever said that. Like I randomly and I think it's crazy that people say that because why would you say that to me? Yeah. Why would you bring it up?
Because they're trying to
beat you to the punch.
Yeah, beat you to the punch. Trying to see where you fill you out.
It kind of makes me sad. It doesn't make me sad talking about it, but it's good that we're talking about it. I like that we're talking about this. But it's just, I hate, like, just seeing everything, especially over the summer, like, around June. Yeah. That like, I don't like that. Yeah. That just,
It's some evil stuff out here.
It's
Like,
crazy. Like this sport is very evil. And,
Yeah.
You know, it just blows my mind that it's all because of skin color. That just blows my mind.
That's where it started.
We're all human. We're all human. We're
Yeah.
all like God. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We're all God's children.
Right.
It's not.
It's just so much for some people to think that way. Like to us, it seems simple,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But for other people, it's like no, like that's just not how.
They see it.
how-
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like how Kayla said. Some people are just conditioned by the way they grow up.
Yeah.
Their surroundings, their
It is
circumstances.
crazy.
They want us to believe life is so hard and it's so easy.
Yeah.
It's just like the simple stuff in life is really what makes you happy, and some people are chasing the hardest things that
Yeah.
really make you forget about what makes you happy internally, so they try to cover that with everything else.
Right.
You know?
And I feel like it just ties everything back in, like Deonte was saying. The elite, want
Yeah.
to keep everything and then, keep it away from us. And then, like, I think it's Tyler, right? One of those that he was talking about, Make America Great Again. And I feel like they're talking about that point of when it was just them ruling it all. You feel me?
Yeah.
And there was a point in time where 400 years of slavery is what we were going through.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like he mean by Make America Great, when they were in charge, when it was just them doing everything. It wasn't too many black folk trying to be successful off of investing money and stuff. So,
Right.
you feel me? That's information that was trying to be withheld from us. So,
I mean, there's still slavery going on. It's just enhanced. Like,
Exactly.
White it's called a master's degree.
exactly.
You got to go to college for 8 years. You got to be in
Right.
debt. You're still enslaved to your master, but now it's a piece of paper. It's a degree.
Exactly.
You don't got
And in debt.
No, exactly. And then, like, I
And
said,
then-
If I saw something where it said like if Biden does do the student loan forgiveness, how much it might close up that gap
exactly.
between like where we are and like
But
where
when
like
that raised taxes up.
But I think also, like, and I don't want to say it to this, but it's I feel like they're trying to make us depend more on the government than our actual basic needs. Like, most people don't even know how to farm, and it's sad to say that they know how to control us based on what we spend. Like, people are buying more PS5s and investing into cryptos.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, bruh.
Not even just that. You got people who don't know how to change tires. I'm talking
Facts.
about. Grown men out here, nah, they laughing, but I'm dead serious. If you're over 21 years old and you still don't know how to change a tire, you're a boy. There you go.
Lowercase b.
This is how it is, bro. Not that you have to do it every time. If you got the bread, call them. But if you can't do it, bro.
But it's like, yo, they're trying to make us depend on the government for our food that we can provide for ourselves, but because we don't know how to do substantial farming or know anything about it, we can't really provide for.
More so they won't allow it.
Yeah, but even if we had,
You can try to farm, they don't tax you.
know-how, we're not gonna have the resources because they've been in control of that.
Yeah,
so,
like,
They control it.
But to be honest, like, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into this because never mind. I'm gonna just leave that low key.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. I heard something in today's church preaching. It's like some people are preparing to stay and they're so focused on here. I'm preparing to leave.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's
Okay.
it.
Yes.
Like,
I was about to say something. But dang, what was I about to say though? Because he was like, hit us
he
with
was
each
like,
other.
and then she was like,
Grace. Because what was the point? Oh! He was like, what's your name again? I'm sorry. Isaiah was saying that, even if we had the know-how, we won't have the resources. And honestly, I feel like the number one thing when it comes to as far as like resources with black people is we just gotta come together.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we can always make something when we have more heads. But you can't get black people to come together
For nothing.
for nothing. I'm
making our ways
for nothing, man. And like, I literally had made a post around, not this time last year, but I made a post last year in reference to George Floyd, and I'm pretty sure some of you remember some of the killings that was going on June 10th on Baby Squirrel Road with the just black people shooting and all of this hooping and hollering. And it's like, why does the story always end like that? When we were just protesting for peace and justice for the people that look like us, but yet I can't get along with her, and I can't get along with her because she said this and then she stand for that. What does that even like really matter? You know what I'm saying? When we're all plastered at the bottom of the totem pole, we can
divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer, and it's like, even just me saying that statement, a lot of y'all that may or may not be watching this definitely tried to ridicule me last year when this was brought up, but it's like, that's a prime example right there. We couldn't even find an agreement on a discussion, and everybody's feelings was just so bent out of shape, and it was really ridiculous. I will put the post up in this video. Make sure you go and check it out, because it was just really a bunch of foolishness at the end of the day. But I mean, that's where I pretty much stand on racial injustice, that we need to, before we, obviously, things have been this way because of how far back we were placed, you know, back in time and stuff like that, and slavery. But at the end of the day, y'all, we got to come together. We have to start working together as a unit versus letting the media and everything else out here divide us off of things that really don't even matter. So,
and this is a start.
And this is a start. This is like, we're all diverse here, y'all. We did not grow up in the same kinds of household. We don't even believe the same things, but yet we're all here having a civil discussion that was very, what's it called, progressive. And who do them progressive things? Flo?
Yeah.
For you, Flo. We might need your ass here next time, Flo. Because that was progressive as hell. Alright. So, but did anyone have any last sayings?
I mean, I was just gonna say it all starts with the belief, because the masses are controlled through businesses. That's right.
Yeah.
I know that.
Facts. That's facts.
I agree with what you said. I mean, and to add on a little bit more to it, we gotta stop glorifying violence. I mean, period.
Thank you.
Like, bro, we gotta stop glorifying that it's cool to like really be a certain way, and that's the only way you can be if you want to be it. And y'all know what I mean when I say it. I shouldn't have to go into detail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in case you don't gotta hit a lick. You don't gotta take a risk. Well, not that risk.
Unless you
know what I'm saying? Like, unless you need to hit the lick. No, not like, there's always an alternative. Like,
there's always a
choice.
There's always a decision.
Yes. Exactly.
And thank you guys for tuning in to more Real Talk. Don't forget to subscribe, and everyone's information will be here, so don't forget to follow everyone on this panel. You will receive value every time you hear them speak. And that's all. Bye.
Bye.
Let's get it.